From giant species of snakes to tribes that have had little to no contact with the outside world. Here are the strangest things found in the Amazon. Number 14. Rare species of insects. This species of insect is found in Brazil and is known as the forceps fly. Some people might know it as the earwig fly. There are only 3 recorded accounts of this insect being uncovered, one in Australia and the other in North America. These nocturnal creatures are probably something you don't want to find in your house. The region where this one was found is in one of the most ancient parts of the Amazon forest. The Mata Atlantica, or Atlantic rainforest, is home to some of the most unique creatures and ecosystems. Unfortunately, the rainforest has shrunk due to deforestation and expanding human populations. Number 13. Transparent Amazonian fish. This creature was recently discovered despite it being transparent and deep within the Amazon rainforest. The fish is very small and only measures to be about 0.7 inches or 17 millimeters long. It was captured in the murky waters of the Rio Negro, which has made it even more difficult to find. Just hopefully, piranhas won't become too transparent or their sneak attacks will become even more deadly than before. There could certainly be more fish out there in the Amazonian rainforest that are completely transparent and hard to find. Number 12. Poison dart frogs. Be careful if you decide to do some tree climbing in the Amazon, because you might run into some of the most toxic animals in the world. This poisonous frog has one of the most dangerous toxins found in nature. The lethal cocktail of deadly toxins is known as batrotoxin and is used in poison darts, which can kill a target in a matter of seconds. The strange part about how this toxin is found is that the frog doesn't produce the chemical itself. It actually comes from part of their diet of poisonous beetles. You really are what you eat, I guess. The poison paralyzes the muscles, leaving the victim immobile, but still alive. Eventually, the poison moves to the heart and triggers a heart attack. Number 11. Giant water lilies. It might be a great place to live if you're a frog in the Amazon. Massive lily pads form across the Amazon River, which are at least about the size of an inner tube you would take to a water park. They're known as Victoria water lilies, and they can grow up to be about 9 feet in diameter. They're sturdy enough to hold this child you see in the photo, and on average, they can support a weight of 71 pounds. The leaf captures as much sunlight as possible, and the stalk that's underwater grows to be about 25 feet long. They were found by British explorers, and the specimen was named after Queen Victoria back home. The flower from these lilies were highly sought after by European explorers as well. Number 10. Undiscovered Amazonian tribes. The indigenous tribes of Brazil somehow are able to seek refuge inside the Amazon rainforest of Brazil. Most of the tribes are concentrated there, near the border with Colombia, Venezuela, and Peru. They've inhabited the country way before European settlers were there. The word Indios was designed by the Portuguese and is still kind of their official name, even though it might not be politically correct. It's kind of hard to be a social justice warrior if you're living in the middle of the rainforest. These people are semi-nomadic who've survived hunting the wild animals of the Amazon. There's an estimation of roughly 67 different completely uncontacted tribes in Brazil, making it the country with the most isolated societies. The only time the tribes actually make contact with the outside world is typically from loggers. Number 9. Horned Suriname toads. If you can watch the entire birth of multiple Suriname toads, you certainly don't have a weak stomach. These creatures are found deep within the swamps of the Amazon and French Guiana, and if you get a little bit queasy easily, it's best you just don't see one give birth. This is what's known as a common Suriname toad, and little baby toads literally pop out of the mother's back from little holes. The mom releases 3 to 10 eggs, which are embedded into the skin, creating a honeycomb-like feature. As the eggs continue to grow, the little babies spring forward, coming out in a very peculiar fashion. This is the stuff nightmares are made from, and congrats if you didn't get grossed out by that. Number 8. Emerald jewel wasp. Creepy frogs aren't the only thing you gotta watch out for here. Don't let the pretty name fool you. This wasp has the power of mind control, and it leaves its victims crawling with larvae. Although this wasp is typically more common in Eastern Asian countries, it's found its way all the way into the Amazon and into major Brazilian cities. The jewel wasp doesn't just lay her eggs anywhere and hope that they are well nourished after they hatch. She wants her eggs inside her favorite food source, the cockroach. The cockroach usually puts up a resilient fight. The jewel wasp will make her victim go to sleep with her long stinger, and it pierces a specific area of the brain, almost like a surgeon. Now she has the power of the cockroach, and she can lay her eggs in it. To add insult to injury, she bites off the antenna of the cockroach to fuel herself up a little bit. Then the eggs hatch, cockroach dies, the end. Number 7. Capybaras. You might not expect to come across one of these massive rodents in the Amazon rainforest, but that might be just what you find here. Weighing up to 200 pounds each, they're the largest species of rodent and are primarily found in South America. Although they look cute, they can be quite dangerous to predators who approach their young. Since they're herbivores, they don't often go hunting for food, but are often the ones being hunted. In a rainforest full of deadly predators, the capybara isn't going to win the fight in most cases, and it might be eaten by a large snake, a jaguar, a puma, ocelots, or even caiman. You also might notice an anaconda might be a little bit bloated after it eats one. Number 6. The potu. This animal has insanely good camouflage, and you may not even know it's there until it starts moving. Their feathers blend extremely well while they're posted up on tree stumps. They're found in the rainforests of the Amazon, but also in Central America. They can be found as far north as the jungles of the Yucatan and as far south as Argentina. Their legs are fairly weak and can only really be used for perching. This means they basically must fly to get anywhere. They've been the target of predators throughout time, and they conduct a defensive behavior that's quite rare for birds. When they spot a predator, they emit a noise heard by other birds, and they basically try to outnumber it and peck it to death. The potu will then use other tactics at night and prefer to escape the situation rather than confront it. Number 5. Pink dolphin. In case you didn't know, pink dolphins do exist in the Amazon River in Brazil and Bolivia. This unique species can feast upon many different animals, including catfish, piranhas, croakers, and even some species of turtles. It's also a very rare species that is in danger of becoming extinct. In captivity, they seem to live up to 30 years, but in the rainforest, it's unknown exactly their lifespan. According to Amazonian legends, this pink dolphin can shapeshift at night and turn into a man and seduce unsuspecting women. Number 4. Iguazu Falls. This amazing waterfall creates the border between Argentina, Brazil, and Paraguay. It's possibly one of the most scenic waterfalls and borders around the world. During the drier seasons of the Amazon, there are more rainbows that spectators awe at. There is a vast amount of wildlife since the water here is a lot cleaner. This includes several rare or endangered species. There's the harpy eagle, jaguars, anteaters, and plenty of caiman found around here. If you're lucky, you might see some toucans and a large variety of butterflies. The Parana River flows north and south and it creates the Iguazu Falls. It's likely the most visited part of the Amazon by tourists. Number 3. Massive anacondas. The green anaconda is the most massive and feared anaconda in the Amazon, and they call almost the entire Amazon rainforest home. These are the world's largest snakes, and they don't mind eating up to 200-pound capybaras for lunch. Not only that, but they also go for wild pigs, caiman, and even jaguar, or people. Nothing is safe from their menu, and their jaw can dislocate if it needs to in order to eat larger prey. They can also grow up to be a whopping 29 feet long, and the females tend to be longer than the males. Utilizing their muscular body, they often suffocate their prey before eating it and don't need any venom. Some intense battles have broken out between other animals in the kingdom. Once they finally feast on something, they can go for a few weeks or even a few months without eating. It's pretty easy to tell when a snake has just eaten a meal, and it takes them a while before they can digest all that food. This scuba diver here just risked his life trying to hunt down this epic, massive anaconda in the Amazon rainforest. Number 2. The Candiru Fish. This slippery little parasite is the reason you don't want to swim in the Amazon River, especially if you're a guy. They are extremely thin, to the point where they can actually enter the urethra of a male and make itself nice and cozy in there at the expense of the host family's jewels. This also makes the parasite more feared than the green anaconda. Measuring at about 2 inches long, they're not easy to spot, which definitely makes it a little bit scarier. There was only one reported account of this actually happen, but it was enough to make the guys in the local area stay away from the water. They typically go for other fish's gills and just drink the blood of those fish until nothing is left. So you can imagine the pain especially a guy would go through if this thing infected them. Number 1. Aliens. Could aliens actually be hiding out somewhere in the Amazon rainforest? Many believe it's possible, and Brazilians living close to it will typically tell you the Amazon is full of them. We're not just talking about the alien-like animals you might come across here, there's also a video that many people have been intrigued by. This photo here shows a screenshot of what many believe to be an alien. But in case you think it's photoshopped, this wouldn't be the first sighting. Brazil is a country that's been home to many frightening sightings, and it's not always clear how much of it is a hoax. But Brazil does have their own UFO documents, kind of like we do. In 1997, the government dispatched some soldiers after an alleged alien attack in the Amazonian village known as Colares.